guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Bent Knee with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
Yeah, my name is Vince, and I guess it's a little complicated what I actually do in the band, but the way I usually sum it up, I play the keys on stage, I play guitar on stage, and then I'm running the lead vocal through all sorts of effects.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a lot of stuff these days.
A hodgepodge of different things. Awesome. So I guess the first question, how did you start out the band, and how did you find all of your members? Because there's a lot of you. So.
Yeah, well, basically, I mean, the short version of it is we all met at Berklee College of Music when we were in school there. I think around 2011.
Okay.
It's been a while
Yeah.
at this point. And it was originally Ben and Courtney at first. They
Okay.
were kind of doing like, just like an in the box little kind of electronic project.
Okay.
And I was doing the production and engineering program there. And at one point I was roommates with Ben. And so, he's always like showing me demos and stuff he was working on. And, I heard the stuff he's doing with Courtney and I thought it was awesome. So it's like, oh, you want to like do that for like, so-and-so production project that I've got to do. And we made a cool recording out of it and kind of like showed the potential of what it could be like with live musicians.
Yeah.
And just kind of went from there. And pretty much the lineup that we have now, the six of us, was set probably like 6 or 7 years ago at this point. So it's been pretty stable for a long time.
That's awesome. And so I guess you found the rest of the members that you're in your band now from Berklee. Did you just like ask around? You're like, here's the demo we did for like one of my class projects. Like, would you want to make it like a full-fledged kind of band thing?
It's more we just all knew each other like in one way or another. We're never like posting an ad on a bulletin board or something like that. It was all just like kind of friends, like
let's just do this.
Yeah, like when our we had a drummer leave, and then like Gavin was just like a good drummer that we knew that we were friends with, and we're like, hey, you wanna
join our band? And
yeah, exactly.
Just like, yeah, sure, no problem.
It's easier that way, because you at least have like a pretty good inclination that they're cool already, and they're gonna work with you personality wise. It's if you're getting just some random guy off the street, it's always it's
a little questionable.
Yeah, it's like a coin flip.
Awesome. Well, as we mentioned before, like off camera, you're on tour. So what are some favorite cities you guys like to hit or catch a show at locally?
Like what are our favorite cities to hit on tour?
Yeah. What was not maybe specifically this tour, but just maybe
just in general.
Yeah.
Seattle, I always like a lot. I don't know, just like a combination of we always have good shows out there. Just the vibe out there is cool. The food's great. Just got a lot. The West Coast is kind of like, just in general.
And it's nicer weather. We're in Philadelphia, and it's like freezing out. So
yeah, kind of missing the weather in LA right about now.
Awesome. Next question, kind of to talk about. We talked a little bit about like where you guys like to travel, but what was the last show that you attended that you didn't play? Like one that you went as just a patron?
And it's like, I feel like it's my dirty little secret. And it's true of a lot of us in the band, and I think a lot of musicians too who tour a lot. It's like we don't go to a lot of shows.
It's a time thing, yeah.
Well, it's just like we spend so much time at venues and so much like cause I've been in a venue like this every day for the last like 40 days.
Sure, yeah.
So when I get home, I'm not like, let me go
to a local show, yeah.
to go to. Like usually I'm more enjoying like albums. I guess get kind of my musical kick.
What was the last album you listened to then? How about that? We'll flip the question.
I listened to, just today in the car when I was driving, I was listening to one of the Parliament albums.
Okay.
I forget the name. It's a wacky name. The one with like all the songs have such weird names. The one with the bop gun or bap gun or what.
Okay.
That was the last thing I listened to. But I guess I go to shows every now and then. What was the I don't even know if I can remember the last. That's bad.
Oh no. I didn't want to like throw you under the bus and be like, oh man, he doesn't know. I was just so curious.
I should go to more shows, but it's like it's just like the thing you have to be like proactive about, and like just like kind of keeping up with where the artists you like are and when they're touring, and and all that. But yeah, but albums I'll probably be listening to more.
when you get done.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question, the big one. I guess who are you guys influenced by, and I guess more so specifically, who influenced you to start doing what you do?
I mean, like I can talk about my influences. Like I think one of the strengths of this band is that we're really different people who like really different things. Like we have like none of us like there's like you can like picture it like a little Venn diagram where there's like crossover
Collective bands that you all enjoy.
between.
Yeah.
There's very few bands that all six of us enjoy.
Oh
like
wow.
those are,
Okay.
I think one time we tried to find an album that all six of us love, and we realized that doesn't
exist.
Yeah, there's, but for me, I'm a big Radiohead's been a big influence.
Okay.
For a long time. Nine Inch Nails is like a really big influence, kind of as I was coming of age as a musician. Those are two of the big ones, but I try to keep it, like you were saying earlier, I try to keep it fairly wide ranging in what I listen to. I feel like there's kind of a danger of pigeonholing, just so you're
Sure,
listening too much
yeah.
into any narrow genre. Like I've been trying to listen to more funk lately. That's the Parliament. I don't know, they just have such cool rhythms. Like, so yeah, just kind of a wide variety of stuff. I was listening to this crazy thing lately called this like 1920s composer George Antheil,
Okay.
who did this thing. Have you heard of this guy?
I have not. No.
He had this thing called ballet mécanique,
Okay.
where
I'll
he
have
wanted
check
to
it out.
like create the sound. He wanted to create like the sound of a city using acoustic instruments.
Oh, cool.
And it's the most horrifying music I've ever heard. Like it's like I listen to some weird stuff, and this
was a little bit just too far.
No, I loved it. It's great.
No,
but
it's
it's like
good?
it's
Okay.
intense.
It's
It's
intense.
like eating a habanero. Like you got to be ready for the experience. It just hits you, and it does not.
It's a little
let up.
bit. Don't go into it just thinking that it's gonna be something like calm. Or
No, yeah, it's not
whatever.
just something you can kind of put on and enjoy.
Yeah.
In the background, like it's feisty.
Okay.
But if you're looking for something really
Interesting.
out there and interesting to listen to,
Awesome. Well, I'll have to give it a listen and give you my thoughts on it or something. I'll have to find some sort of way of meshing it into
I've yet to
this.
find anyone who likes it. But so if you actually enjoy it, you'll be the first.
Well, we set the bar pretty low, so I mean, it could feasibly happen, but who knows? But the next question is a fun one. If you could pick a song to cover, what would it be?
I
I
don't know. We actually did a few covers
Okay.
a long time ago, like several years ago, and those were fun. We did what I think is a pretty cool cover of "Since I've Been Loving You."
Oh, nice. Okay.
And "Creep" as well. And then we did one of "Closer." Actually, that one wasn't really good though. I don't know. We kind of got burnt out on covers though.
Interesting.
It's
okay.
like it's just like hard because either if you try to take a song that's already like really good and cover it, it's hard. Like there's got to be some room for improvement in the song.
Sure,
Otherwise, you're
yeah.
just basically gonna make
the same
a
song
worse
again.
version of the song, and then what's the point of spending your time doing that?
True.
Or you take like a song that's like has interesting material but has like some way that you can improve it. I don't know. We've been kind of like very loosely flirting with the idea of like, oh, let's do some. What if we did like a cover again? But that kind of goes back to like the six of us being so different. Like
So you
we
can't
don't like
all
it's
collectively
hard.
agree on the same
It's
answer
really
for a cover.
hard for
yeah.
us to agree on the same song to cover.
I guess how did you guys? Because you said you had done covers before, so how did you all? Did somebody have to like be like, okay, fine, we'll do it? Like obviously you did "Creep" and you did a few others. So like, how did you all collectively agree? Like, this is the cover we're gonna do. I guess.
maybe
If you were
it's-
saying it was so hard, I'm just curious.
I feel like maybe it's a. I think it's just because honestly, I think it was in a much earlier stage in the band's.
So there's
Life
a little bit
and-
more freeing. you
Yeah,
know?
people are like a little looser, a little more
Yeah.
down to try things. It feels like the stakes are less. It's people just kind of go with the flow more, and now like people kind
A
of
little bit more rigid.
they have their views and they kind of dig in,
Sure.
and so making controversial decisions can like be a little trickier.
So it was easier back then, guys. Just for
Yeah.
your recollection. But the next thing is another fun one. You kind of alluded to it a little bit earlier with the city. But what's your favorite food to eat? What's the go-to meal?
I swear, like every tour, there like winds up being like kind of like a thing of a food of that tour.
Okay.
And it's never like consciously chosen. It just like happens. Like
It just happens.
a couple tours ago, I think it was like it's like the ramen tour. Like
Oh,
they were
okay.
just eating a lot of ramen. It was great. And then like last summer was the ice cream tour,
Ooh,
and that was awesome.
that's great. Yeah.
That was fun.
Especially in the summer.
This tour hasn't had like as strong of a theme. I think like the closest thing maybe is we've been eating at a lot of Japanese restaurants for some
Okay.
reason.
There you go.
But like for me, like I just love like Asian noodles. Like that's kind of my that's my go-to like tour comfort food. Like a nice Asian noodle soup or like some stir-fried noodles. That's my usually if I'm feeling down, that's what I'm going.
That's what you're gonna get to eat. Yeah, and it's a perfect day for something like that.
And we're
Tonight.
close to Chinatown. Yeah,
There you
so
go. So maybe
and some cool-looking dim sum places.
there we go. Awesome. Next question. Getting back to the music stuff. If you guys could pick somebody to collaborate with, whether it be a guest vocalist or some sort of guest feature on your next record, or a producer you'd like to work with, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I think
There's a lot of you, so that might be a little bit hard to finagle, but
like for me, I like really. Maybe this will sound like almost too like I'm just trying to like be nice answers, but like I'm really more interested at this point in working with with friends.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
like I feel like at this point we've met enough people through our years and years of touring. Like there's so many people like just between these two bands we're out with, we got what 12 other amazing musicians that we've just been traveling with for a month. Like I want to start like getting some of them
on a track.
on tracks and stuff like because I think anytime that I could say like Trent Reznor or someone, but like I don't know Trent Reznor. I don't know what our chemistry is going to be like. I don't know how it's gonna work in practice. But people that you kind of like have a rapport with already, they're good musicians. It's just kind of like almost a matter of like consummating that relationship and actually like making something happen. Like,
No, yeah, I think that's an interesting spin because I mean, I understand from the perspective of like having, a goal in mind or like some sort of dream person you would have on, but I never really took into the fact of like having somebody on and maybe not gelling with them in terms of like a personality or how they do certain things in the studio. So I think I like this answer a lot just because not to say that you were like evading a question. I think you definitely answered a question, but I think it was just your approach to it was like, I'd rather have people I know that I'm good friends with that I know are very talented to be on like a track rather than somebody and highlight their skills rather than somebody that is already pronounced and already has maybe a following or something like that.
Yeah, well, thanks, appreciate it. Like, yeah, it just seems to me like that's like it's just kind of the more fun, appealing route for me.
Sure, awesome. Next question. I don't know how big of a video game nerd you are, but I love asking this question. If you could be a video game character, who would you be?
I kind of want to go. I don't know why. Maybe there's like some deep Freudian reason behind this, but like the first thing that came to my mind was Kirby.
Ooh.
I don't know why. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like because he could just like take on whatever traits he needed, based on
the situation
and also who he ate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't give you an explanation, but that seems like the most appealing one for whatever reason.
The current time.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it can always be changed, but I think this was a good answer for the time being. But the next question is, if you could compile a dream tour, who would be on the lineup?
I mean, it would be, it would be amazing to open. There are a lot of really cool bands that we'd love to open for.
Sure.
Like, I think Radiohead or Nine Inch Nails obviously is kind of coming from having listened to them so much growing up, that would be a dream come true. But yeah, there's so many bands that I would love to tour with. I wish Sleepy Time Gorilla Museum. You ever heard of those?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wish they were still around because like I feel like we go well with them. Like
Yeah,
it could
I
be a
would say.
nice pairing.
There we go. Well, if they happen to be watching this, maybe
They can get
maybe
back together.
maybe they can get back together and do something. But the next question, kind of the follow up to the tour lineup. In your opinion, who puts on a great live performance?
Oh, Nine Inch Nails puts on a
Yeah.
hell of a show. Let's see who else. I feel like I guess it's kind of coming from a different place, but I love. I used to live in Boston. I love watching the BSO.
Oh,
It's like that's
okay.
that's one really cool thing at Berkeley. With a Berkeley ID, you can get free concert tickets
Oh, that's cool.
to see the BSO, and I used to live right by there. And so you could just go see these incredible musicians for free, like basically every week, playing
Whatever.
really cool music. Like
Yeah.
I love the Rite of Spring. I saw that a couple times. And
Oh, neat. Okay.
that, like, I think if I could just like be transported into any concert experience, just
It would be that one.
yeah, just getting to watch a great orchestra play the Rite of Spring, just like it's so amazing.
Yeah, and I guess like we can kind of touch on it. I mean, obviously you guys all met at Berkeley as you had stated before, but like I guess what made you want to do music? Like I mean, not to sound like just like the baseline question, but I'm just curious, like what was like the key moment in your life where you're like, I wanna do vocals and stuff, and like go to school to Berkeley.
I mean, it's like an evolution. Like at least for me, and I think it's true of a lot of people. There's never like one single moment where you're
Sure,
just like
yeah.
you go from like not wanting to be a musician
To wanting
to wanting to be a
yeah.
musician. It's just kind of like, my friend sold me a guitar that he was trying to get rid of, and I just kind of like bought it on a whim and started learning to play it. And I was like, oh, this is pretty fun. I'm pretty good at this. This is cool. And just kept growing and growing, and eventually kind of just start getting the thought like, oh, you're like you're a kid still, so you're nice and idealistic. You're not constrained by the practicalities of the
money.
real world and money. So you start thinking like, oh, maybe
I could do it,
musician.
yeah.
Maybe I could do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, just kind of like slowly evolved, and eventually I somehow got the crazy idea
Of, like,
in my
going to
head that I
music.
try to make a living doing music, which still seems like a crazy idea, but it's slowly coming together in a weird sort of way.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Well, hopefully it doesn't take much longer. You guys have been together for a long time, so I'm hoping the time gap shrinks a little bit. But I mean, I can understand that too, because like, as somebody who does this, like you never know what you're gonna get into. Like I never thought I was gonna be interviewing bands and doing this sort of stuff. So, best of luck. I mean, obviously, I feel like you guys are doing decently well for yourselves. So, that's always a good thing. And, hopefully the rest of 2019 and into 2020, you guys really kind of take off, because the record you guys had released most recently was really tight. So
Thanks, man.
but I got to keep it with the fun stuff. What is your favorite movie and favorite TV show when you have your free time? Obviously.
Favorite movie, I would say, I guess I gotta go with 2001. Like I'm a huge Stanley Kubrick
Ooh,
fan,
okay.
and it's just an amazing film. Like, just get something amazing out of it every time I watch it. Favorite TV show. Kind of want to. That one's trickier.
That's a harder one. Yeah.
I'll give you two answers. I'll give you like on the drama spectrum. I'll just go with the classic answer of The Wire.
Ooh, that's a classic.
It's just a classic for a reason. It's just incredible. Then on like the comedy side, go a little more obscure and go Peep Show.
Ooh,
Peep Show.
yeah.
I love Peep Show.
That's great.
It's such a funny show.
I don't hear that reference too much, so I feel like that's a real good answer that you should check out the Peep Show. But you should also check out Benny. But
Yeah.
yes. But the next thing is, if you were trapped on a desert island, there's one record you could bring with you for the next month. What would it be?
I guess I'll go back to the Rite of Spring.
Oh, okay.
Probably like Leonard Bernstein's version of it. It's my favorite that I've found. It's just like it's the only record that I've ever listened to like back to back, where
Oh,
I'll just
wow,
like
okay.
stop and I'll just listen to it again.
That's
So
great.
there's just like such a crazy amount of depth in that music. It's like you could even I've heard it probably like easily 50 times, and you still find something different and something new every time.
There we go. Awesome. And the last thing, tell them about Bentley, where they can find you at, and anything coming up in the new year 2020.
Yeah, we're on all the usual places: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, etc. As far as our live shows, we're wrapping up this tour. I think you'll be seeing us in the spring and the fall of 2020. Got some tentative things in the works. Maybe even the summer overseas. We'll see. Got some ideas, but it's all very tentative. But keep your eye out. Check us on the emails and the YouTube. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, go check out Bentley. Their new record's fantastic. The name escapes me currently, but post Brandon will have all of that up there on the screen for you. So check it out. Links are in the description where you can find out about Bentley, their music, touring, anything related to them will all be below. And if you enjoyed this interview, share it, like it, subscribe. I do like this like moody lighting, so if people can't see very well, I'm sorry, but I think it came out.
It's just like capturing the real vibe of the
Capturing
venue.
the real vibe of the venue right now,
This is what it looks
which is
like.
dark. But go check them out. Seriously, really good stuff. And you may be seeing their name a little bit more in the future in terms of end of the year video, but I'm not going to spoil anything. So if you enjoyed us, make sure to share it, like and subscribe. It goes a long way. And thanks, of course, to Bentley for coming on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for the interview.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.